Hi, I'm Hayden. March 25th, Thursday, and my guest right now is Caitlin Barringer. And Caitlin is involved in a new coalition in the city of Santa Paula that's meant to cover a lot of ground from what I've seen. And I want you to know too that Caitlin is a third generation Santa Paulan and lot of family history here. And she's a great gal. So welcome, Caitlin. Lovely seeing you today.
Thank you, Peggy. Always good to be here, and thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
absolutely. Now, tell us a little about yourself. I know you work for a nonprofit that's heavy into child issues and family issues.
Yeah, so I've been I've been in the nonprofit sector for a little over 5 years, working in fund development and fundraising. And currently, I work for a nonprofit called Kids and Families Together. And Kids and Families Together, we don't place a removed child in the child welfare system, but we're really that therapy and support service center for families who have children in the child welfare system, whether it's parents wanting to reconnect with their kids, or parents at risk of losing their children, or grandparents caring for grandchildren, or actual foster families or adoptive families.
Absolutely. Oh, that's wonderful. And it's,
Mhm.
what I know about the organization, it's a wonderful organization. It really helps keep families together and happy. And that's wonderful. Now you're involved also, and I know you're a very involved person, but now you're also involved. You're one of the founders of the Santa Paula Social Service Coalition, and it's about connecting resources to the community. Could you go into what exactly, number one, how long has everybody been working on this? How did it start? And then we'll talk about some of the details of what the coalition's doing.
Fantastic. So I love the Santa Paula. I love this town. And back in the fall, when I was, exploring some of the issues in the city, I met with the director of Parks and Recs, Gregory Barnes, who we are so lucky to have. It's a phenomenal department within the city.
Yes.
And we just really started talking about how the city has buildings and how there's certain things that we have, and how everyone always talks about more social services, right? Well, social services kind of come from the county, and it's not really a city
Yeah.
budget thing. We don't really have a lot of budget within the city
Mhm.
for social services. So how do we bring some of these social services to our town that already exist in our community at large? So from there, we decided that we were going to launch a social service coalition. And Greg joked at the end of the meeting, I think we just started it. And it has two members, me and him. And so so as the new year came about, we decided to actually move forward. We set a date, and we were like, okay, we set a date for our first initial kickoff. Obviously with COVID, it has to be in Zoom. We eventually want to see it be in person, quarterly or maybe bi-monthly. But we had a phenomenal turnout in February at our first meeting. We had over 14 organizations countywide, some local, some
Uh-huh.
county. Um, and it was a phenomenal turnout, just educating each other on what our resources are and how can we connect them to the community, because there's so many things that people don't realize are out there that actually are services for them. So the whole point is getting the word out to the community about them.
Mhm. Now, give me an example of some of the services you're talking about.
Yeah, so at our last meeting, we just had NAMI Ventura County just presented to us, and NAMI Ventura County works with mental health services, right? And
Mhm.
they have now asked to get in touch with some of our schools because they have a program on mental health services for our schools. And we know through COVID how challenging it's been for some of our students,
Yeah.
especially with mental health needs during COVID. So
Mhm.
how can we connect NAMI, an organization that already has its own funding, to our school system or to our youth in our community as
Mhm.
as a way that they want to connect anyways?
Mhm.
Or it doesn't matter what demographic it is. How can we help our farm worker community? How can we help our LGBTQIA plus community? How can we help all of these different facets within our community, our youth, our mental health, and really lift them up together and bring people together and bring the resources to the people that they need?
Absolutely. And this, in other words, then primarily you're working as the go-between, as it were. Is that basically how you could describe it? That um, uh, give me an example of somebody that would utilize your services.
Sure. So the Social Service Coalition is meant for people who serve Santa Paula. So they can be a county organization, they can be a local organization like Spirit of Santa Paula is a part of it, Boys and Girls Club are going to be attending some of our meetings. Latino Town Hall and Poder Popular are a part of it. So those are local organizations. Then we have some county organizations like Food Share and NAMI and Vista Del Mar, and these organizations that serve Santa Paula, but also serve the county. So it's bringing all of these different partnerships together so that we can educate each other on what our services are, and then B, figure out how to connect them better to the community. What's so special about our community is that we are a tight community. We do have ties to our school district and our city and our leaders within the community and our service organizations, and they all partner so beautifully together that I feel like if we had a coalition of these resources established in our city, it would be easier to get resources to those in need in our city. It's kind of like the big premise of it.
So subsequently, you would have like, do you have a representative from the school district, as it were? Do you have you guys, I know you've got a very impressive list of people that you're working with. And if you don't mind, let me just, the coalition, there's been a part of the coalition is Santa Paula Police Department, Spirit of Santa Paula, which you've mentioned, Santa Paula Latino Town Hall, Poder Popular, Vista Del Mar, 211 Interface, which of course is the dial-up social services line, NAMI, Food Share Ventura County, One Step LaVaz, Partnership for Safe Families. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. I mean, it's really great. You also have like a representative for Supervisor Kelly Long's office attends and is working with your people.
Yes, we've also had city council members attend to check out our meetings. We just invited school board to come and check out our meetings, and they've had interest. So I think a couple of them will come check out our next meeting as interest. So it really is meant for those go-getters in the community, as well as those organizations that have resources. And what's so interesting is a lot of these organizations want to be connected and want to be a part of our want to be invested more in our city. One really great one is Legrando Bienestar. They do so much work with our undocumented farm workers and our farm workers in our community, and they're a part of the Social Service Coalition. And during COVID, they actually went to our parks and did mental health services in our parks. So there's just a lot of really great organizations doing a lot of really great things, but sometimes they're not top of mind and people just don't know, and they don't know that they're out there or how to get connected to them, or it's scary to get connected to them. So let us try to bring them here to you in our community so that you have better access to them.
Sure. So if you're like limited English speaking, you know, you can go to Latino Town Hall or Poder Popular or several of them, and they will you know, work with you to help you if you know, if they have any problems obtaining services or really don't know where to go, and somebody can talk to them and just let them know. And you know, like you and I are speaking now, which is really valuable, because very often people that do need services are hesitant sometimes to even ask, especially some services. It's, you know, there's a stigma they feel perhaps, you know, as far as like mental health and things like that.
Well, and what's so wonderful about our community is that this, you know, these different departments are here to work with us, right? Like we, like our Parks and Recs department, for instance, we have this wonderful community center. We have, you know, the multicultural center in the back. And I know with COVID, we're a little bit restricted, but eventually we may not have a lot of money to put towards these services, but we have buildings and space. We have parks. We have ways to be unique where if these groups need anything on that level, we can totally help them. We might not have brick and mortar directly to this, but we have spaces that people can utilize within our city to bring better resources and more awareness to our citizens.
Yes, and that's the important part is just bringing the resources, because I know there has been discussions in the past that Santa Paula does not get the resources it needs. So, you know, if you're a little short on resources, you certainly need somebody to help you hook up with them, as it were. Well, that's great. So, what's your schedule basically? How often do you meet? And I'm sure you're looking for new members.
Yes, so right now we are meeting the third Thursday of the month from 2 to 3 on Zoom. As COVID becomes less and our numbers go down and we're going to orange tier and other tiers, we'll talk about doing maybe bi-monthly or quarterly meetings in person.
Sure.
probably at our community center. We are looking for organizations that serve Santa Paula to be a part of it, or maybe any leaders in the community that can help connect these resources to the community to come be a part of it.
Very good.
So, and they can email SP Social Service Coalition at gmail.com if they are interested. And we have just started a Facebook and Instagram page, and we're hoping that these organizations that are part of it, we can utilize those pages to also get word out about those organizations, programs that they have. I would like to eventually a YouTube channel with videos of maybe some of their programs that people can see as well. So it's all in the works and happening.
Oh, absolutely. And that's great. Yeah. So what's the ultimate goal? That nobody's going to need services in Santa Paula, or basically if they do, they can be taken care of in a very painless, rapid manner. I'm assuming that that's the latter is the one that's more feasible, you know?
Absolutely. So we always kind of feel like in this Heritage Valley or in the Santa Clara River Valley that it's a hard time for the county resources just because where we are to get to Santa Paula, Fillmore, Piru. And so there's tremendous resources that already exist in our county, and I'm so lucky to see them because of the work I do, that I would like to see them more present in the Santa Paula, Fillmore, Piru areas. And so the Social Service Coalition is really to bring those amazing services and to really connect them back to the community. And maybe there's gaps that we don't see right now, and that's okay. Tell us what your needs are. Tell us what your gaps are.
That's why you have this organization now.
Right. So that we can find ways or organizations or things that we haven't even thought of, and best serve people and residents within the city.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I would like to mention that your grandparents are Carl Barringer, the late wonderful Carl, who had been the mayor of Santa Paula and had been the longtime commander of the VFW, Mercer Prieto, and your darling mother, Kathy, who I do adore, but you know, I mean, and that's just a personal aside, but she has a lot of friends there too. And you're carrying on the family tradition of community dedication and service, and everybody appreciates it, Caitlin.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope you watch this with Kathy.
I will make sure.
Anything you'd like to add? Anything perhaps I should have asked you that I didn't, or?
No, I just want to say thank you for having me, and stay tuned, everyone. We are just getting started on this, but we are excited and we are proud of all the work, and let us know what your needs are.
Okay, let us have that email again.
It's going to be SP Social Service Coalition at gmail.com.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, well, thank you so much, Caitlin. Thanks for taking your time to help promote this wonderful organization. I'm very excited about it, and we'll do a story soon for the paper on it also.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and have a wonderful weekend. Once again, I'm Peggy Kelly with the Mighty Santa Paula Times, excuse me. And that was Caitlin Barringer, who's here talking today about the Santa Paula Social Services Coalition, which is a wonderful idea, very needed. And don't forget, you can watch this on cable television channel 10 if you have Spectrum. You at any time get on your computer and go to kadytv.net. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. That helps us bring you more programming like this. And once again, I'm Peggy Kelly. That was Caitlin Barringer, and we really appreciate her visit. And Caitlin, do come back.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And everybody have a wonderful weekend. Be COVID smart.